You are watching AI Storytelling, YTS.
You've all been on a road like that one. One of those endless, dark, two-lane ribbons that cut through the country like a vein no one talks about anymore. Out where the gas stations close at 8, the billboards advertise products that don't exist, and the only thing keeping you company is the hum of your tires and your own thoughts, which, if you're honest, are the worst company you can have past midnight. That's where I was. It was raining, the soft kind at first, like a whisper against the glass, and I was 30 miles outside Pine Bluff, Arkansas, heading nowhere fast in a beige rental car that smelled faintly of plastic and the last guy's cologne. Sales trip gone bad. The client didn't bite. I didn't hit quota. And all I wanted was a cheap motel and a bad TV show to drown it all out. I had the radio low, just static and a preacher's voice somewhere in the mix, and the cruise control steady at 65. That's when I saw the headlights. They came up in my rear-view mirror like a ghost deciding to make itself known. Faint at first, then brighter, too steady to be a passing car. Now, I'm not a paranoid man, not by nature. But there's something about a lone set of headlights at 1 a.m. on a road like that. It puts a knot in your gut. You wonder, who else would be out here? And more importantly, why are they behind me, matching my speed? The rain thickened, smearing the world into streaks. I tapped the cruise off and gave the gas a little love, easing up to 70. The headlights followed, perfectly matched. Not closer, not farther. The first thing I noticed, and I swear this is true, was that the beams didn't sway. Most cars on wet roads, you see the light jiggle a little, the suspension moving. Not this one. They were rock steady. I adjusted the mirror for a better look and froze. There was a shape in the other car, not in the driver's seat. In the back seat. It was standing, I mean upright, head almost brushing the roof, and watching me. The glass and the rain blurred it, but I could make out a head tilting, like a bird noticing something shiny. I looked forward again, told myself I was imagining it. The mind does that in low light. I told myself there was probably a driver slouched low, maybe moving boxes or equipment, and I just caught a weird reflection. But I couldn't stop looking. Every glance in the mirror, the head tilt was a little different. Slightly to the right, slightly to the left. And then, the next time I looked, the shape had no face. No eyes. No mouth. Just pale, featureless skin. I gripped the wheel hard enough to ache. My breath came shallow. My mouth went dry in that instant way, like my body was already preparing to run. The rain was coming down harder now, hammering the roof in 1,000 tiny fists. I told myself, get off this road. Lose them. I pushed the speed, 75, 80. The headlights stayed the exact same distance away. I passed a sign, gas food, next right, 1 mile, and I swear to God, I've never been so grateful to see a glowing, peeling diner sign in my life. I took the turn hard, tires splashing in deep puddles, fishtailing just a little. I pulled into the gas station lot, gravel and asphalt mixing under me, heart pounding. The lot was lit by 2 tall lamps, buzzing like they were full of flies. I turned off the ignition, exhaled hard, and looked back. The road was empty. No headlights, no car, no shape. I laughed, a short, ugly sound. You ever laugh because you don't want to cry? That's what it was. I told myself I'd been tired, I'd imagined it. I got out, locked the door, and headed for the glass doors of the little store. And that's when I saw it. Not on the road, not behind me, in the reflection of the glass door, in the back seat of my beige rental. The faceless man was sitting there, perfectly still, head tilted toward me. You drive long enough for a living, you'll see things on the road that make you question the whole idea of reality. Shadows that move wrong, roadkill that looks at you when you pass. I've been hauling freight for 15 years, and I thought I'd seen it all until that night on Highway 57. It was late, close to midnight. My trailer was light, just a few pallets headed towards San Antonio, so the rig handled like a dream. The road was wet from a storm, but the rain had stopped, and the clouds were thinning just enough for the moon to bleed through. That's when I saw her. Thin little thing, standing on the shoulder, hair plastered to her face, thumb out. Now, every rule in the trucking book and every rule my mother ever drilled into my head says you don't pick up hitchhikers at night. But there was something about her posture. Not dangerous, not desperate, just lonely. I slowed the rig, hazard lights blinking, and rolled to a stop. When she climbed in, the cab filled with the scent of rain and something faintly sweet, like river water in spring. She didn't speak, just sat, hands folded neatly in her lap, and began humming. The song stopped me cold. It was a lullaby, the exact one my abuela used to sing when I was little, in Spanish, soft and slow. Duérmete, mi niño. I hadn't heard it in 30 years. I asked her name. She just smiled, eyes downcast, and kept humming. We rolled along like that for maybe 15 minutes. The road stretched ahead, black ribbon under silver light, the tires hissing on wet pavement. After a while, I noticed something odd. Her hair. It wasn't clinging to her face anymore. It was floating, just a little at first, as though caught in a slow underwater current. And her skin, pale, almost blue around the lips. "You okay?" I asked. "Cold." She shook her head and smiled again. Teeth, small, even. Another 5 minutes. The humming never stopped. Then, without looking at me, she said in a voice so soft, I almost missed it. "We're close now." I didn't know why that made my stomach knot. "Close to where?" I asked. But she didn't answer. I spotted a neon diner sign up ahead and figured I'd pull over, get her warm, maybe a coffee. When I braked to turn in, she stopped humming. The passenger door swung open on its own. I turned to look. The seat was empty, bone dry. No damp spot where she'd been sitting. I sat there for a minute, engine idling, heart thudding. Then I got out, walked around the truck, shone my flashlight along the shoulder. Nothing. Inside the diner, the waitress asked if I was all right. Said I looked pale. I told her I'd picked up a girl a few miles back, and she just vanished. The waitress froze, eyes wide. "You didn't by chance hear her sing, did you?" I nodded slowly. That's when she told me, back in the 70s. The river a mile from there, flooded after weeks of rain. Whole section of town washed out. People died, including a young girl, maybe 16, who was known for singing lullabies to the children in the neighborhood. Truckers say she still hitches rides on rainy nights, still humming her song, still looking for home. That was 3 years ago. I don't pick up hitchhikers anymore. But sometimes, when I'm hauling through that stretch of 57, I hear her. Not outside, not in the cab, right behind me. I was 21, broke, and stupid. That combination will put you on a lot of roads you shouldn't be on. It was the tail end of a long weekend. I'd driven down to visit some college buddies, and I was headed back home to Fayetteville. My GPS said 40 minutes to go, but I was tired, buzzing off one of those 24-ounce energy drinks, the kind that tastes like liquefied Smarties. The highway was empty. No other headlights, no taillights. Just me, the painted lines, and the steady hum of tires. That's when I saw it, the billboard. It was maybe 20 feet high, bright even under the moonlight, and it said in big cheerful letters, "Fresh peaches, 5 miles ahead." There was a giant peach on it, round and golden, with a single drop of dew sliding down the skin. Looked good enough to eat. I don't even like peaches, but something about the sign made me smile. 5 minutes later, I saw it again. Same sign, same drop of dew, same perfect peach. I frowned, checked my odometer. I'd gone about 6 miles. Must have been another orchard or the same company advertising twice. No big deal. I drove on. Another 10 minutes. There it was again. Only this time, the peach looked a little off. The skin, darker, maybe a bruise near the top. And here's the thing, the drop of dew was gone. I told myself I was imagining it. Long night, tired eyes. Still, I reset my trip odometer. If I saw that thing a 4th time, I'd know for sure something was wrong. 7 miles later, there it was again. The peach was definitely different now. Skin puckered, darker. I slowed down, stared as I passed. It was the exact same billboard frame, same bolts, same torn corner at the bottom. But the picture had changed. I didn't pass any exits, didn't see any turnoffs. Just that same strip of road, like it had been copied and pasted. The next one came quicker, 4 miles. Now the peach was brown and shriveled. No shine, no life. The words "fresh peaches" looked faded, like they'd been out in the sun for years. I turned off the GPS. It still said continue on Route 9. I drove another 5 miles. The peach was split open, crawling with fat, wriggling worms. The pit was black, and under the words "fresh peaches, 5 miles ahead," there was new text in dripping black letters. "You're already here." The car suddenly felt too quiet. No wind, no engine hum. I glanced at the dash. The speedometer was dead. So was the gas gauge. I pulled over. When I stepped out, the silence hit like a punch. Not just no cars, no insects, no breeze. Even my footsteps sounded wrong, too muffled, like I was walking on thick carpet instead of asphalt. I turned around. The billboard was right behind me, so close I could touch it. The worms in the peach shifted, and one of them lifted its head. Not a worm's head, but something human-shaped, with teeth. I ran. I don't remember getting back in the car, but somehow I was driving again. Next thing I knew, I was pulling into my driveway at sunrise. Tank was full. Trip odometer said 0. But when I shut the door, the smell of rotting fruit came with me. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more chilling tales, and if you've ever had your own strange encounter out on a lonely road, tell us in the comments.